Great job, girls. Okay, next we're going to have Pat O'Hara, classic.
Oh, there's more.
Sorry about that. Oh, she gave me a look, did she? You're up, go. Everybody come out and take it out, please. Let's hear it for the Irish dancers. They're great. Great job, ladies. I'm really sorry. Okay, we're going to move the podium back. Oh man, I just pulled a hamstring. I got up 8 times. I thought it was over. Okay, no, I can't pull the podium over. Okay, next we're going to have somebody who graduated from LC in 1970. He's going to come up and say a few words. Pat O'Hara. You know, and being part of Lansdale Catholic football, Pat, come on up. Being part of LC football, we really had a connection with the players of the past. And I think the reason is that we were wearing their equipment. I remember on the first day of practice, you would have like a gym slicing knee pad and you would trade for a morning karate hip pad. Anyway, my hip pad went to Notre Dame, but I didn't. Make it quick because the Polish jugglers are coming out next.
Barricades was the wrong music. I don't think anybody.
You know, that story is not too far from the truth. When I played, I had to share a helmet with another player. We couldn't be on the field at the same time. We only had one helmet to fit this big head. I'd like everybody just to take a few seconds and kind of think what we're celebrating here tonight. 40 years. 40 years that Coach Algeo has been here at Lansdale Catholic. Just think in your own lives what's happened in 40 years. It's a huge amount of time. 8 presidents have been in the White House. You've had 4 different popes. I don't think the Algeos needed 15 tables to have a sit-down dinner. 40 years ago, the bride really was a bride. He came in 1968. In 1968, some of you can remember, it's almost like a history lesson. Bobby Kennedy and Martin Luther King were assassinated that year. The Vietnam War was on television every night with the death toll going up. Chicago was in a state of chaos at the Democratic National Convention. And here's one piece of priceless information. O.J. Simpson won the Heisman Trophy that year. 1968 was a time before Watergate, before anybody heard of Woodstock. There were no cell phones, no computers. It was a long, long time ago, and Coach Algeo has been here since then. And I look at Coach Algeo tonight, and I see we both put on a couple pounds. Neither of us wore glasses then. He had black hair then. I did have hair then. I was a 15-year-old because she was mortified by the language coming from the sideline if you made a mistake. You dropped the ball, you were crucified. I was a 15-year-old hotshot coming from a different regime, almost completely opposite of the regime you now know as Lansdale Catholic football. My mother stopped coming to JV games because she was mortified by the language coming from the sideline if you made a mistake. You dropped the ball, you were crucified. It was right downstairs in the gymnasium, a hot Sunday afternoon, that Coach Algeo walked in and introduced himself as the new coach. And coming from the old regime, we didn't readily give our attention to him when he asked for it. And after about 4, maybe 5 seconds, he let us hear the voice. "Who do you have your attention, please?" And it worked. I mean, our heads turned because we couldn't believe that voice came out of that little man. And he explained very briefly to us where he was from, our schedules, here's our equipment, see you at practice the next day. Well, the first couple days of practice are pretty uneventful. You run, you do some calisthenics, you run, you might push the sled around, and you run some more. And it wasn't until the second or third day that we got to hear the voice a second time, when Coach instructed us to do a rather unpleasant exercise, and one of my teammates showed his displeasure by calling on our Lord, and it wasn't in the context of a prayer. And we heard, "Who took the Lord's name in vain?" And our heads we were dumbfounded. All he said was, and he stopped us right there and proceeded to explain what Lansdale Catholic football was going to be from now on. That everything we did in that field down there was for the glory of God. Everything we did down there was not about us. We were to respect each other, respect our parents, our coaches, and our teammates. Our opponents, if we won with our heads held high. If we lost, we congratulated our opponents. We held them in high regard because they beat us if we were doing our best. They beat us as a better team. And that was the beginning of the rare breed. Wasn't labeled as such back then. But when he explained to us the commitment that was involved to play football for Lansdale Catholic, he also said maybe it's not for everybody here. And no one left the field that day. We stuck in there. We were ready for the commitment. And the players here tonight know what that commitment entails. In the hot summer afternoons when your mouth is so dry and you can't spit, or on a November night when your fingers are so cold and you go down on the stance and your skin bleeds. But that was the deal we made. That was the commitment we made. And we were all better for it. And Coach Algeo taught us every day, every practice, every game, down on that field, to respect and to play the best we could. To practice, and we practiced until we did it right. And we're better for that too, as are every other player that has played here at Lansdale Catholic. He gave us a wonderful gift, and that was the gift of his good example. We saw it. It wasn't something that was just spoken in words. We saw it day in and day out, year in and year out. Now, my father is a Marine. He'll be the first to tell you there's no such thing as an ex-Marine. And I believe that all the football players here that are part of the rare breed, it's in you, it's in your heart, and that will stay with you. The seniors here tonight, You're not going to put a uniform on again that says Lansdale Catholic. Some of you will play college ball. Take that rare breed to college. Take it to your careers and take it to your families and your home, because you'll be better for it. And the underclassmen here tonight, you still have time with Coach Algeo. Learn from him. Learn from his example, just the way the seniors here tonight learn from his example. Draw on that and hold it, and you will be better for it. Back then, when it came time to graduate, Coach was the first one to write letters, make phone calls. There was times he would get you in his car and drive you out to campuses to meet coaches, to visit colleges. And he did that for me, and he did it for everybody. I was nothing special on that team, far from the quality of the players that I see here tonight and I've watched play here. You guys have a gift here from Coach Jim Algeo. You can take away all his titles, his championships, all his awards, and he's still the same man. He's still a wonderful man. He's still a wonderful example. He is the rare breed. Jim Algeo is a rare breed. He made Lansdale Catholic High School a football power. He left his mark all over this school. He has left his mark all over that field down there. He has left his mark all over the state of Pennsylvania. But I think the most important mark he has left on every football player that has played here at Lansdale Catholic is the mark he left on our hearts, and that's the mark of the sign of the cross. God bless you, and good luck, coach. Thank you.